So, today we're going to be fixing a couple things on this project. Now, let's first start working on the steering. Now, this thing has a turning radius that'll fit inside a parking space, which is nice, but this thing's more for speed. The steering would be perfect on this if it was more for like drifting and stuff like that, but it's not. So we need to make it to where, basically we need to make it to where we turn the handlebars more and the wheels turn less. Basically, we just need to shorten this. Alright, so hopefully we'll notice a difference with the steering now and this thing won't be such a death trap. Now I kind of want to change the gearing just by a little bit, not by much, just a little bit. Now I bought this sprocket which is basically just one tooth smaller than the one that's on the engine. I'm hoping that this is going to make it to where it still has the same top speed for the most part, but I just want this thing to have a little bit better acceleration. So I found where the coolant is leaking out of. There's a hole right here that where the coolant is just slowly leaking out of here. For all of everybody watching who's a dirt bike enthusiast that know way more stuff about this than I do, what is this hole? Why is it here? Why is it leaking? And how do I fix it? And do I need to fix it? How important is it to fix that? I think, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure. I think that this means if this hole is leaking, I think it means that I have the seal on the water pump is bad, and the coolant is leaking past the seal for the water pump. So I think that's what it means. I can't remember. So for now, we're just gonna ignore it, and I just gotta remember to top off the coolant system every now and again. Now, something I've always wanted to try with go-kart tires like this, I've always wanted to try and balance them, because with go-kart tires, mini bike tires, especially stuff like this, they are not balanced and you can really feel it when you're going fast. So I just bought some of these. These are adhesive wheel weights. I bought these on Amazon. They were like less than 20 bucks or something like that. And they come in strips like that, and you can cut them off. And each one of these weighs about 5 grams. So if it's a little too much, I can always cut these in half. So I'm gonna try my best to balance these tires, and we'll see if it makes a difference when I take this up the street. Yeah, these tires weren't terribly off balance. Two of the tires took only 2 weights. One of them took 3 and the other one took 4. So I'm really hoping to notice a difference now that we balance these tires. Hopefully there's going to be a lot less shaking of this thing when we take it up the road. Alright, so let's take this thing up the road again, and this time I'm going to run my speedometer app because I'm really curious how fast this thing can go. Also, I did tow the tires in a little bit. There was a lot of comments about that. Half the comments were about towing them in, the other half were about towing them out. So I towed them in because I think that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know. We're about to find out, I guess. So. For some reason, our clutch doesn't want to work the first time. Steering's a bit nuts, I'll admit. Okay, somehow we made the steering even worse. Wow, there's a really bad yeah, somehow the steering is so much worse. Holy crap, I don't know what I did. It may be because the tires are towed in. That may not be helping. Yeah, that was not as fast as this thing could go, by the way. I just was not going any faster because holy crap. This thing's a bit, it's a bit squirrely at even a slight speed. So we gotta, it may be because the tires are towed in. I don't know if that's making it work. Let's bring it back. Let's go back. Okay, so somehow we have made the steering so much worse. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. It gets to a point where it just starts doing this. Yeah, I was not comfortable going any faster than that. That was not a top speed. I was not about to go full speed on this thing with it doing that. So somehow it's so much worse. I I know some of you guys were saying, what about a steering stabilizer? This thing may need one. It may need a steering stabilizer. And it may be because, maybe it's because I did have the tires towed in. Maybe that was it. You guys told me to try it, so I tried it, and I don't know if that made it, I think it made it worse. So I redid the tires. I shortened the tie rods just by a little bit, so now the tires are sticking straight forward, and I got rid of the toe in on that these tires had. So I'm hoping that fixes the problem. We got to take this thing up the street again because that ride was terrible. It was pathetically slow. So hopefully that fixed the problem. Let's try this thing again. Hopefully this will be a little less terrifying this time. I'll be honest, this thing's a little terrifying. I don't know what I built. I don't know why I built this thing. I'm afraid to ride this thing because of just how it is. It is terrifying. This has been one of the most terrifying vehicles I've ever built. Just because of how small it is, it's fast. Mainly the thing that makes it terrifying is the steering. It's just, you really have a hard time keeping it in a straight line. It just doesn't want to go in a straight line. It's just all over the place. The slightest twitch of the steering, just like, just holding on for dear life. And then, you know, as you're doing that, it's making the steering worse. And it's, yeah. I don't know why I built this thing, aside from just the coolness factor of, hey, let's stick a giant dirt bike engine in something tiny. So... slightly better, but not by much. Yeah, the steering is way better, holy crap. So hopefully my GPS is working because I'm curious how fast that was. That was not full speed. That was not at all close to full speed. I'm not going full speed on these roads. There's too many cars, too many neighbors, gotta find somewhere else to take it to do a top speed test. And a different driver because I don't have the guts to take this thing full speed. All right, let's go back. So the steering was better, thankfully. Yeah. I am not, I'm gonna be honest, I am not comfortable enough to really see what this thing can do. I'm also too scared to let it do a wheelie because, yeah, this is one of the most, one of the more terrifying vehicles I've ever built, just because of how fast it is, how tiny it is, how just the steering is just not good. It's just all over the place. Yeah, I definitely noticed a difference with the tires. They were a lot less shaky, so balancing the tires definitely helped a lot. Now the steering, it's still a little terrifying. Next week, me and Dirt Gear TV, we're actually going to Durham Town again for another 4 days. And I kind of want to, I'm definitely bringing the CBR 1000. I'd love to bring the rock crawler, but I don't have room on my trailer. I want to bring some other stuff, and if I have room on my trailer, I'd love to bring this thing because it's tiny. And to do that, we need to change to off-road tires, which I just bought some off-road tires for this thing. And we also need to change the gearing to be more off-road friendly, so we also got to do that. So let's quickly swap over the tires to off-road. And so therefore we can bring this thing to Durham Town if we have room for this on the trailer. Alright, so I'm curious how the new gearing feels. Hopefully it's not too slow. Again, our clutch just doesn't want to disengage first time. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how much oil is in this engine. There's no dipstick, there's no viewing glass. I put some oil in it, but it's like I don't want to put too much. I put about half of what you're supposed to put in here, and I'm like, is that enough? Is there anything in there? I don't really know. So there's at least some oil in there, I know. Second gear. It's finally able to spin the tires. So we gotta try it in the dirt now. All right, let's see how much dirt this thing kicks up. I'm first gonna go into second gear. Oh, that made a good mess. Nice. I gotta do it again. Just because it's fun. That's a pretty good mess. All right, this thing's it's a ripper. This thing's. Oh man, yeah, this thing's fun. Yeah, I really hope there's room on the trailer for this because this thing will be fun at Durhamtown, and I'm actually leaving for Durhamtown in like 4 or 5 days, so I got to get a bunch of vehicles ready. I'm trying to bring as much as possible, as I always do. I'm actually bringing the CBR 1000, of course, my dirt bike, my electric dirt bike. I also want to bring a mini bike for my cameraman. I really want to bring this if there's room on the trailer, and I want to bring the 2-stroke triple yard cart. I have been dying to make another video of that thing. I just haven't figured out where to take it. I really want to see what that thing will do at the drag strip at Durhamtown. That thing's going to be awesome. It's going to be hard to beat. If it has traction, that's going to be the thing. If it just spins the tires and just kicks up a bunch of dirt and just kind of sits there, maybe it's, I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out if that thing is going to be unbeatable at Durhamtown. And actually, by the time I upload this, I will have been there for 3 of the 4 days that we are there. So anyway, as far as this, works great. The tires look awesome. If I do ever put the road tires back on here and change the gearing for speed again, I'm gonna put a steering stabilizer on this because holy crap, does it need it? This thing, I want to say this has been the most terrifying project I've ever built, just because of how unstable this thing is at high speed. And again, it's more the thing of you just really don't have anything to hold on to except for the handlebars, and any slight movement with the handlebars just translates to just darting all over the place. And you're doing this, you're trying to hold on to it. It's this thing's. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. So I want to see if I can take this on one of the trails at Durhamtown just to see how bad this thing would be with 0 suspension, super low to the ground, almost no ground clearance. I want to see if I can make it on one of the trails at Durhamtown. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see ya in the next video.